Every day means every day. My name is Brandon Burns. This is Buddy the cat. He's got a really cool story, by the way. I used to live in Missouri, and I went outside one day, and there was this stray cat who was skin and bones, wobbling, like on the verge of death. And I went inside, grabbed some cat food, and I said, "Hey, buddy. It's okay, buddy. Come here, buddy." And that just became his name. So it stuck. But anyway, that's Buddy the cat. He decided to join us for today's video. But he's not the topic or the subject of today's video. The subject of today's video is if you don't know what to do next. Because how many of us have felt like that before, right? I think we kind of all have. Sometimes in life, you don't have a plan. Sometimes in life, you don't have a 7-step, 5-year plan, 10-year plan. You don't have a roadmap laid out of how you're going to get where you want to go. Matter of fact, a lot of times you don't even know how to get to where you want to go. Sometimes you don't even know where that is. You don't even have a real clear destination in mind. You're like, I just don't really want to be right here where I am now in life. I want things to be better, but I don't really know what that means, what it looks like, how to get there. Listen, we've all been there, and there's some timeless wisdom that speaks directly to that question. You can find it in this good book from a long time ago, and it says, "Everything your hands find to do, do with all your might." See, I was reminiscing the other day. I actually made a VSL for one of my websites, and I was going over some of my just credibility, certain accomplishments. I said, "Hey, my name's Brandon Burns. I'm a 2-time Big Ten championship winning coach. I'm a former elite athlete. I've closed over $15 million in sales. I've worked with clients like Eric Thomas, Master P, Deion Sanders. I've worked with other clients in the peak performance coaching realm that are Olympic athletes, that are Grammy and Emmy award winning artists, not to mention all those other 8-figure entrepreneurs I just mentioned." And I was sitting there rewatching the video that I had made, and I was just like, man, I used to be a janitor at a gymnastics camp. I literally used to be a janitor at a summer camp. And I wasn't just a sweep the floors, do the dishes kind of janitor. I was a, like, shop vac the hornet infestation out of the cabin janitor. I was a kid did too many flips and got sick and threw up. Go clean that up janitor. I was the sewer line burst, and that's going to be your problem now. Go clean that up, janitor. Like, I had some rough jobs when I was a janitor at that summer camp. And I almost retrospectively started to think, man, how did I get from there to where I am now in, 10 years? Which sounds like a lot, but you can probably do it faster if you're older, because I was that janitor. I started there when I was 15, and I spent, gosh, at least 5 years at that camp just doing that stuff. Maybe 4 years as a janitor before I moved into coaching. It's not important. Anyway, 10 years for me is what it took. But for you, if you're a little older, you could probably get that done a whole lot faster. You've got a little bit more resources, skills, network, etc. And I was just like, how did that happen that quickly? And as I was thinking about it, I realized that back then, when I was a janitor at that camp, I didn't have a vision for my life. Again, I knew I wanted it to be more. I knew I wanted to drive a nicer car. I didn't have a car at that time. I knew I wanted to live in a nice high rise like this. I knew that I wanted to help people for a living, which is what I do now. But I didn't know what it looked like. I mean, I had no idea what a funnel was. I couldn't tell you the first thing about email marketing. I couldn't tell you anything about automations. I couldn't tell you anything about business models and online challenges or evergreen webinars and how to create a great offer and software and all this stuff. I had no idea about any of it. So how did it happen then? And the only answer I could come up with was everything that my hands found to do, I did with all my might. When I was cleaning up that camp, I did it to the absolute best of my ability. And you know what's funny about that? It doesn't matter what domain excellence is in. People will notice excellence. Period. It doesn't matter that right now you might be an excellent garbage man. If you're excellent at it, people notice. It doesn't matter that right now maybe you're an excellent gas station attendant. If you're excellent at it, people will notice. By the way, first of which should be you. You should notice your own excellence. You should notice the fact that, man, I really work hard at this stuff. I really care about my work. I really care about the quality of what I'm doing. And what that does is it starts to change your perception of yourself. And over time, you start to say, maybe I am capable of more. And then the people around you are like, yeah, we've seen the way that you work. We've seen the standards of quality that you have. Like, yeah, I think you're probably capable of more too. And then somewhere along the way, you meet the right people, and then one thing leads to another. And as long as each opportunity, that's the tricky part. You can't sacrifice that level of excellence and that dedication to excellence once you begin to get more opportunities. Because if I had been excellent as a janitor at that camp, and then I got to the University of Michigan, and then when I got cut from the team, I was no longer that excellent. When, by the way, I was doing the same stuff. I was cleaning trophies, so I was still kind of a glorified janitor. If I had allowed that dedication to excellence to lapse, all of a sudden the sequence of new opportunities ends and it runs out. Why? Because the excellence that I demonstrated as a janitor of the summer camp was what helped me get the right contacts, the right recommendations, the right skill sets, the right inner belief to then gain the opportunity to go to Michigan. Once I'm at Michigan, all of that prior merit is gone. It helped me get there. It's done now. Now that I'm here or there at Michigan, the only way I can get another opportunity is through continued dedication to excellence. And I think where a lot of people go wrong is you're dedicated to excellence for a little bit, and then it doesn't happen as fast as you want it to happen, and then you stop and you give up. And quite frankly, that just means that you were never deserving of the outcome you wanted in the first place, because you were never really that person. You were just doing the things. There's a big difference between doing the right things, and you can do excellence for a little bit, being excellent or having a dedication to excellence as a core part of your character. That's different. That's different. And that's where I want you to get to. And so the purpose of this video today is simply this. Whatever you do, whatever your hands find to do, do it with all your might. And don't for a second think that just because you did something with all your might for 5 years in a row, 10 years in a row, 20 years in a row, that just because you're on year 21, you get to not do it with all your might. Huh. Can you imagine that? I worked so hard for 20 years to get to where I want to be, and now that I'm here, I can not do things with the same level of standards of excellence, of dedication, of commitment, of honoring my craft. Now I can ease off the gas. You look goofy. That's how people fall off. And that's how people stall out in their careers and in their lives and in their relationships and in their fitness and in everything else. Every single, I wrote about this in a book. Actually, it's not out yet, but it's on the way. I said, you are not who you were, and you're not who you could be. You are who you are right now in the present moment. Understanding that is the key to unlocking the fullest potential that exists within the human spirit. If you can just take that one mindset into every moment with you, everything will change in due time. Hey, I appreciate you. I believe in you. I love you. I care about you. I'm grateful that you watched this video. If you enjoyed it or if you got value from it, please leave a comment below, subscribe, and share this with somebody else who will benefit from it. But until next time, every day means every day. Peace.